if you gotta go live in like 15 minutes and you're just gonna yell at you because you're late, I put a Google Drive link in the description with all of my Streamer.bot actions I've been making this video, if you just want to use those and, you know, get to streaming. But you can also use them as a reference for, you know, making your own cool stuff. I have several automations set up so that events in my stream can trigger things to happen in my Discord server. But before you click off, I promise it's not as complicated as it sounds. First off, you're gonna need a Streamer.bot or Streamer.bot, whatever you want to call it. Just click the link in the description and then click this and download it. Now that you have Streamer.bot downloaded, just make sure that you're logged into Twitch. All you gotta do is go to this panel. So if you go here, platforms, Twitch, or if you're collapsed like this, you just go here, Twitch, and then make sure you're logged in. Next, we're gonna go to the Actions tab here. Go to Actions. If you are confused by this or you think it's kind of overwhelming, I'll leave some links in the description of like basic Streamer.bot tutorials just so you can familiarize yourself. First things first, you want to go to your Discord server. This is my server, and you're going to want to make a channel called Go Live, or, you know, announcements or whatever. Mine's called Stream Alerts, and edit the channel. And then you're going to go to integrations, and then you're going to go to webhooks. And then you're going to create a new webhook. I already have one, but yeah, you have your icon and your name and what channel it belongs to. I already have this one. It's based off this little axolotl character TTS pet I have. So when you go, just make sure when everything's how you want it, copy webhook URL, and then we'll go back to Streamer.bot. Now we're in Streamer.bot. Making a go live action is actually super simple. And you right click and you click add, and then you name your action. Mine's called Go Live, but I'll make a new one for this. Just call it Go Live 2. Okay, so you have Go Live 2. Then you're just gonna come in here where the sub actions are. You're gonna right click. Ignore that my Streamer.bot looks fucked up. I'm on Linux, okay? We're not gonna talk about it. Click add, and then go to integrations, Discord, and then basic webhook. Name, it doesn't matter what this name. I could call this pee pee poo poo, and this name does not matter. Put whatever you want. The username is what you want the bot to be. So you want to call it like HAL9000 or something. That's the name of your bot, right? And then your webhook URL, this is what you copied, and you're just gonna paste that in there. And then the content is what you actually like want it to say. And then avatar URL. If you have a link for a image, you could put it here, but I just put mine in Discord and I just don't change it, so it's fine. So you want to put your content. This is a go live, right? I'm going live, and like that could be it, but that's kind of lame. So then you add a little link. Okay, wow, now you got the link. That's all you need for a go live. You would just click OK, go to your triggers because you want it to actually trigger. And since this is a go live, you're just gonna right click, add Twitch, and then you're gonna go up the channel, and you're gonna go stream online. And that's literally it. It just makes sure Streamer.bot is open. None of this stuff is gonna work if Streamer.bot's not open. And then it detects your streams online, and then it'll send this out to your Discord channel, whatever you put the webhook as. But like if you wanna be fancy, like what I do, let's say I'm going live and I'm playing, I don't know, every stream is different. So this is where the Streamer.bot variables come in. So game is, it's just like what category you're streaming on Twitch. I think that adds a little touch so that when people get the notification, it's not just like you're spamming them with a link over and over. It's like, oh, today they're doing art. Today they're playing Pokemon Rumble, because that's totally irrelevant. I also have it so if you have a role that gets notifications so you're not spamming at everyone. Like I have a Twitch alerts role, and then how you would do that is you would just get this as the role ID. You have to be in developer mode for Discord for that. So I do my @Twitch alerts, your presence is required for this game, and then this is my link, and that's it. You might be saying, Alex, that's fucking lame. Pardon my language. That's freaking lame. Any Discord bot can do that. So this is when we kind of start incorporating some of the more seasoning. So okay, let's say like you have a clips channel. We can make a action in Streamer.bot that will automatically put our clips into the clips channel. Your classic, every single channel you want to do this, you have to have a new webhook. So then I have my new webhook. So you just copy that URL. You're gonna go back here. You're gonna make a new action. Clip for me. And I'll put it in my Discord. Okay, we're gonna do what we did last time. So honestly, you can just copy this. You just copy that. We can call this You Smell. It doesn't really matter what the name is. And then you can name your bot like Clippy. That'd be cool. And you could have a picture of Clippy as the avatar. Okay. See, you start having ideas. You put your webhook. I just clipped something funny, but like, where do I get the clip from? What we're gonna do is we want this to trigger on a exclamation point clip command. You go here, you go add, and then you're gonna go core, and then you're going to go to commands, and then you're gonna go command triggered. And then you create your command, exclamation mark clip. That's literally all you need click, unless you want moderators to also be able to do it, you would click on the thing and then you click the arrow and then you'd have your trigger here. So this is where you go here. You're going to go to add Twitch channel, create clip. And then here you can put the clip title and the duration. 30 seconds is like the standard. And then you can clip title, but just remember that this clip title is going to be what it's called every single time. So now that you have your clip, but like I still don't have the link for the clip. So then you go back into your content here, just shift enter for a new line. This is where another variable comes in. So we're going to do % create clip URL. And then %. And then that will be the link. It doesn't show it here, but by Streamer.bot doing this action, it'll populate that variable. So now you do ! clip, and then it'll post in your clips channel. I just clipped something funny, and then the link. So you never have to think about posting them in your clips channel ever again. But like, let's say you want to get fancy with it. You're like, okay, this is still kind of lame. Also, I want my clip to have a name because like having a bunch of nameless clips is kind of annoying. So in that case, everything that's after your ! like whatever the command is the raw input, and it's just like a text string. And so what you can do here actually in your create clip is you can make the title % raw input. And then so now when you do ! clip and you say, wow, you're so dumb, the wow, you're so dumb will become the name of the clip, and then it'll post it into Discord. But you might be saying, that's still not fancy enough. Don't worry, it gets better. Right now, things don't seem that interesting, but you just gotta expand your brain a little bit. It never hurts to try. But in this case, we don't even have to try because the goat, Nutty, he already did it, and it's great. So you don't have to do anything for this part. All you gotta do is go to nutty.gg. This is his website, and you wanna download Discord Stream Logger. And then you're just gonna add that to your cart, and then you're gonna log out. It's free, so it costs 0 money. But once you have that downloaded, you're gonna get a .nut file. You're gonna go here to import, and you're gonna drag it in, or you can open it with a text editor like Notepad, and then just copy and paste it in. And then you would click import. And then it might say contains custom like C# code. Are you sure you want to import it? Just say yes, it's completely safe. So then from there, you're going to get this nutty.gg. And it has this, ignore these, but you're gonna have these stream loggers. So you're gonna have this example stream logger, and then you're gonna have this chat one. So this is every time somebody chats, it'll log it down. And then this one is events. So every follow, blah, 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 blah. So all you have to do for this, because it's already here, already finished everything. All you have to do is here and put your webhook URL in here for both of these. They're gonna be different chats. Obviously you don't want these combined into one channel. So different webhook URLs for both. But then that's it. You have stream logger. So if I go here, my janitor's closet because no one wants to go in here, and you can go here and like look, it'll have the icon of the person who did it, and then their user, their display name from Twitch, and it'll have a timestamp, and it'll say this is me rating them, and then it'll even have a timestamp for your VOD until your obviously your VOD gets deleted over time. It'll have channel points, it'll have follows, it'll have rates, everything. And I love that it has these profile pictures, awesome. And then the chat log, same thing. You might say, this is still not enough sauce. This still isn't interesting. But to me, like if you want to remember something, like maybe somebody came in the stream and they were really nice, but you forgot their name, or you got to scrub through the whole timeline of your stream just to find this person. Or maybe someone was really not nice and you want to find them so that you can ban them because you didn't do it during stream because you were preoccupied. Same thing. Only thing with the stream loggers is make sure the channels are muted before you go live, because you are going to blow up your computer with notifications every time somebody chats. So I will recommend muting those before you even start streaming. This is where things actually start getting saucy. So this is one of my favorite things I've ever made. This is basically, you get a raid. Like I'm grateful for every single raid and I want to remember every single one. And so before I used to go through the painstaking process of going through my VOD, highlighting this, finding the raid when it happened, highlighting it and then titling it and being like, okay, who even looks at highlights? I usually don't. Everyone looks at clips and they're really easy to make with Streamer.bot. So why don't I automate this? So this is what mine looks like. I got their icon, I got their display name, this is how many viewers they rated me with, and then their link so that everyone who missed stream could go support them. And then I even have a clip of exactly when I got rated, and you get to see my reaction and you get to see the chat moving. It's awesome. So I'll show you how to do this. The process is pretty simple. Ignore the red. That means it's disabled. I don't use that anymore. So you're going to want to have it triggered on a raid. So you're going to go to add, Twitch, raid. Confusing, I know, but yeah. Then you're going to have this. You can have a minimum or maximum amount of raiders. So let's say you don't want people who only raid with one viewer. Then you could have a minimum of 2. So there you have your raid trigger. And then you want to add Twitch users get user info for target. And then you're obviously not going to know this user's login. They raided you. They're random. That's when you would use user because they made the raid. So if you do %user, that'll be the raider. So you'll get all the info you need from this. Ignore that. And then I have it automatically shout out that person. So now that we have this target user info, we can just do target user. It'll send a shout out to them. So it'll send that shout out. And then I have a delay for 30,000 milliseconds. You're like, what? That's just 30 seconds. Minus the last 3 zeros, 30 seconds. Because that's how long my clip is. From the moment the raid starts, then I wait 30 seconds and then I clip it. Basically, by the time I'm done with my spiel, it's been like 30 seconds. So yeah, then I have my delay and then I have my create clip. Has no name, but you could put like target user raid. So then that way, the target user, let's say Cinder raids me, the user would be Cinder, and then I would get the target info, and then I would send a shout out to Cinder, and then I would create clip that says Cinder raid, or Cinder, the whole name. You could probably also put the date, but I don't know off the top of my head the date variables. But if you go to the Streamer.bot documentation, they'll probably have it there. Then you do your webhook. Ignore this bottom stuff. The name, it doesn't really matter. Then the username is your target user, which is like Cinder or anyone who raids you. Then you would have your webhook URL for that specific channel. And then I could say they raided with, and then the %sign users is the variable for how many users they raided with, which we get from the get target user info. And then we could say that's how many viewers, and then you could support them at twitch.tv and then their target user info name. And that would literally be their link. And then the create clip URL. And so that's how I do it. And then you can also do get the target user profile image URL. So that's from the target get user info. So then you can have their URL for their image and their usernames, and then you can get their channel and the clip. I love it. I'm going to be real with you guys. I made this entire video so I can share that because I love this. It's like my favorite thing I ever made. That's still not saucy enough for you. I don't know what to tell you. It depends on each person's ideas. This was my idea. Everyone gets inspired from different places, so just cook on it. Maybe you'll think of something really cool. Maybe you don't want raider appreciation maybe you want it for people you raid. And so these are all the people I've ever raided. Or every time someone tier 3 subs. These are like the Giga Chad channel, and it's all the tier 3 subs, And then you could have like a clip or have like what they said in their message, I like to have it archived on Discord because it like really keeps the memory, because it's really easy if something like Twitch where the video just disappears, it's really easy to forget. So I like to have that kind of archive moment, and that's super cool. You could have even like, I know a lot of people have quotes from like stream elements, and let's say you do like ! quote, and then it'll put it in like, you can do quotes in Streamer.bot, but also you could send it to Discord. So you'd have just a list of all these funny quotes where you're like, what the hell was so-and-so thinking? So yeah, I hope you learned from this, or at least it was helpful in some way or entertaining. If you did, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And also, if you did make something cool, or you just want to talk to me about it, you can always visit my stream. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. MST. And I would love to see you there. I would love to see your guys' stuff. I think that'd be so fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it.